Hey everybody, one that always bored, never boring. Today we are playing HeroQuest. To be specific, we are playing On Sacred Ground, the second solo quest from the Mage of the Mirror expansion. If you haven't already done so, you may want to check out the first video in this Mage of the Mirror series, in which our elf Ethan investigated a small fortress in search of the Sovereign Sword. We are now continuing Ethan's adventure. I'm going to assume you all know how to play HeroQuest. If you don't, it's relatively straightforward. You will pick it up as we go along. I will explain things as we go. For now, all you need to know is that I will obviously be playing as Ethan the elf. The dungeon will be run by the HeroQuest companion app, and I must apologise in advance. I have had a technical mishap. I have damaged a phone. The phone I will be running the app on has a smashed screen. I hope that will not ruin your enjoyment of the playthrough. Now, let's see what Mentor has to say about our quest on Sacred Ground. Your second trial requires that you rescue 2 of the Queen's attendants who were kidnapped recently. Foul creatures of dread have taken these 2 elves to an underground cavern south of the Elven Kingdom. The only entrance to this stronghold of dread is a spiral stairway that descends far underground. Starting from this stairway, you must fight your way to the Queen's attendants, free them, and then bring them back out through the stairway. It's a good old-fashioned rescue mission. So as you can see, we are starting on the stairway. There is a single closed door in front of us, and we begin the game with Ethan activating. We get 1 action, 1 move. And if you have seen any of my other playthroughs, you will know that I use the unthreatened movement rule, which means when there are no monsters on the board, I get to move 4 spaces for each movement dice I would normally roll. I would normally roll 2, and therefore my unthreatened movement value is 8. Oh, and of course I should point out our elf has access to 3 of the elf spells. I have selected Flashback, Hypnotic Blaze and Double Image. I will explain those as and when I use them. We begin our first turn. I have a movement of 8, more than enough to get to the door. I can open the door as a free action and we will see what lies beyond. And immediately we are confronted with 2 orcs in a room with no visible exits. I could choose to stand in the doorway, forcing the orcs to come to me and attack me one at a time, but I think I'm going to risk moving into the room to attack one of the orcs. Hopefully we can take down one of these orcs before they have a chance to hit me. I will move 2 spaces inside the room, and we're going to attack with our short sword, which uses 2 dice. We have rolled a single skull, and if we look at an orc's character card, we can see they get 2 defend dice. The orc does roll a shield, but it is the wrong kind of shield. Orcs need to roll the evil shield to defend themselves, so this orc takes 1 damage. They only have 1 body point, and that means we do indeed kill our first orc. Good start. Unfortunately, that is the end of our turn, which means Zargon will now activate, and that orc will get a chance to hit us. The orc advances, and the app rolls to attack. Lucky for us, the orc misses. That means it's my turn again. I'm not going to move at the moment, I am just going to stand my ground and attack this orc, again rolling 2 dice. I really need a better weapon. But that is 2 skulls, that's a really good hit. There is very little chance of the orc defending that. Sure enough, the orc fails to roll even a single shield and is destroyed. I do still have a movement for this turn, but there is no point in taking it at the moment. I don't want to wander around a room I haven't searched for traps, just in case I fall down a hole. So I'm going to start a fresh turn, and then I'm going to begin that turn by doing a search. And if you've seen any of my previous playthroughs, you will know that I do a combined search. I will search for traps, I will search for secret doors, and then if I haven't found anything horrific, I will search for treasure if I wish to. That just helps me to keep the playthrough going at a quick pace. After searching, the app tells me there are no traps, but we have found a secret door. And also, as a reminder to me that I should put my glasses on because my eyesight is failing me, there is actually a door in this room as well. I've just looked at the map again, and tucked away in that bottom right corner, where the orc was originally standing, there is in fact a doorway. Lucky I spotted that really. So we have 1 doorway there, and we will also be placing one of these secret doors. While that secret door may look like it's open, it's actually not. We have to move to it and choose to open it before we can reveal what is in the room beyond. We will do that in a moment. First we have a treasure search to deal with. The app instructs me to draw a treasure card. And this is a fantastic find. This is one of the new items from the Mage of the Mirror expansion. It is the Elven Cloak of Passage. This cloak enables the elf to pass through walls without harm. Caution, there are shaded areas on each quest map that indicate solid rock. If the elf ends their move in one of these areas, they are trapped forever. This cloak can only be used 3 times, discard after the 3rd use. That's really good, happy with that. That can help me to escape if I am in serious trouble. Okay, let's finish our turn by moving to the secret door. We will open it on our next turn. What have we found? We have found a fancy elf treasure chest. Unfortunately, it's guarded. We have one skeleton to deal with. And I think we can be a bit gamey here. Because the secret door token is on the space directly in front of us, I am going to assume there will not be any traps on that space, and I am safe to walk into the room and attack the skeleton. And we have rolled 2 skulls. That is fantastic, because skeletons only get 2 defense dice and only 1 body point. And again, Zargon rolls poorly, no shields for the skeleton. We have destroyed our 3rd enemy. Things are going swimmingly, and we have found a treasure chest. Before we rush in and open that treasure chest, we better do some searching. We will search for traps, secret doors, and then the treasure. Surprisingly, there are no traps, and there are no secret doors. Let's open our treasure chest. The app tells me we have found 300 gold coins in the treasure chest. That is fantastic, because after this mission I can buy some decent weapons. The app also tells me there are pieces of broken jewellery and torn silk strewn around the floor. The Queen's attendants passed through this way, resisting their captors. How did they pass through this way? It's a room with no exits. Never mind, we're going to start a fresh turn with a movement of 8. We are going to backtrack, we're going to head down to that door that I forgot to place originally. We are going to go out into the corridor and see what lies beyond. 6 movement points to the door. Opening the door is a free action, we may as well do that. And what have we found? First of all, we have a wall. I'm going to use some rubble from Archon Studio just because it's going to show up on the video a little better than the tokens. That blocks off our route to the north. We have found one door to the east. Unfortunately, to the west, we found one of these. Not too happy about this. That is a giant wolf. Quite clearly a guard dog, and I am going to need to deal with that because otherwise it is going to hound me, literally, through the rest of the dungeon. So let's move out into the corridor, hope we don't fall down a pit trap, and see if we can start putting some hurt on this wolf. Wolves are tough, we definitely will not be able to kill it with a single hit, as we have done with the previous enemies in this dungeon. We attack with our 2 dice. 1 hit. Unfortunately, giant wolves have 3 defense and 5 body points. It doesn't make a defense roll, so it has taken 1 wound, but it still has 4 wounds remaining. And now, unfortunately, it gets to attack me. And it brings the pain. I have a basic defense value of 2 dice, however I am wearing magical elven armour, so I roll 4 dice in defense. However, I do have in my possession a potion of defense which gives me an additional 2 defense dice if I choose to drink it. I can drink that at any time, and I do think this is probably a good time. So I'm going to drink it. I will roll 6 defense dice. And despite 6 defense dice, I only roll a single heroic shield. I still take 3 wounds, and I've used my potion of defense. My starting body points was 8, I have been reduced to 5. Okay, let's attack the wolf again. 2 dice. 2 hits, that's good. Let's see how the wolf defends. Remember, it's 3 dice. No shields, that's another 2 wounds on the wolf. Unfortunately, it started with 5, so it's still a long way from dead. Now I could move if I wanted to, but wolves have a movement of 9. Wherever I go, this thing is going to chase me down, so I'm just going to stand my ground, and we will see what the wolf does this turn. Oh, come on, seriously? Well, regardless of what happens here, I'm going to take at least 1 wound. But I do block 3, so that's really good. I take 2. That takes me down to 3 wounds remaining. If I keep trading lumps with this wolf, it's going to kill me. I am going to roll for movement because I have had an idea. I rolled an 8, that's good. That's enough for what I'm thinking of doing, which is, to be honest, a risky play. I am going to run away from the wolf, and I am going to use the Elven Cloak of Passage to move through the wall next to where the door is. The wolf will not be able to open the door and follow me. I'm hoping I will be able to move through the wall, regroup, maybe find some weapons, come back and kill this wolf later. Of course, I may end up falling down a pit trap or bumping into more monsters, but let's see what happens. We move to the corner. And the app says there is nothing around the corner. That's a good start. We'll move to there, that's 6 movement points. And from there we can see that the corridor to the east is blocked. And we breeze through the wall without opening the door, hopefully leaving the wolf to lick its wounds and wait for us to return. It's time to find out what we have stumbled into. We have found a room containing a lovely elven fireplace, a lovely elven bookcase, and a not so lovely dread warrior blocking a doorway. I have 1 movement point left. That is enough to get into base contact with this thing and fight it, but with my current weapon I have no chance of killing it this turn. Ah well, here goes nothing. We move to there, and we roll our 2 attack dice. Just the 1 hit. The Dread Warriors get 4 defense dice, they're harder to hit than the wolf was. But the Dread Warrior does not roll any shields, we have inflicted 1 wound. 2 more and we're golden. Guess we better see how badly this Dread Warrior hurts us. And that's not too bad, just a single hit. With 4 defense dice I would like to think we can block this. And there it is, 1 shield, just enough to block that incoming damage. Oh, and thankfully, as predicted, the app has chosen to leave the wolf exactly where it was. It has not followed us. The downside of what we have done there is that we cannot use the unthreatened movement rule while that wolf is on the board, so pretty much for the rest of the game I am going to be rolling for movement, old school style. That is, of course, if I don't die to this Dread Warrior. Let's see if we can finish it off. 2 dice. 2 hits. If this Dread Warrior does not roll any black shields, we have defeated it. And that will be huge. That will change this game around because I am on the back foot right now. But they're so beefy. And it does indeed roll a black shield, which means it does deflect 1 of those wounds. It's still alive. Ethan shouts his war cry, "Fork!" And then he bounces off the Dread Warrior. And then he says fork again. I guess it's time to tank another attack. And again, this Dread Warrior may be quite good at defending itself. It's not that great at dishing out damage, only 1 hit. 1 shield will do it. And there it is again, just the 1 though. If this Dread Warrior had rolled better when attacking, Ethan would be taking a dirt nap now. Here we go, attack time. Just the 1 again. But the Dread Warrior rolls 4 skulls. Amazingly, we inflict the final damage we need with a relatively weak attack. Fork indeed, Ethan. Fork indeed. Well, I guess we will start a fresh turn and we will do our search for traps, secret doors and treasure. There's got to be something good in this bookcase, right? Well, there are no traps or secret doors. That doesn't really surprise me. And for treasure, this is pretty great. We have found a helmet that gives us 1 extra defense dice. We are now rolling 5 defense. That is fantastic. If I had had that earlier against the wolf, we might not be in such a bad situation now. And to finish the turn, I'm just going to move 2 spaces to the door. We will open it next turn. First we roll for movement. 4. That's not great. Then we open the door. We have found another one of these bookcases. We obviously have some very learned monsters in this dungeon. We have found another door. And of course we've found some monsters. Fortunately, the dungeon has decided to cut us a little slack here. It's just a couple of goblins. I'm going to immediately move into the room. We will risk activating any traps because I want to take one of these goblins down straight away. I've just killed a Dread Warrior. I'm feeling good. We move to there and we have not activated any traps to ruin my mood. And we roll 2 dice to attack. I wish I could headbutt them with my helmet for an extra damage. 1 hit. Goblins do get a single dice in defense. But it fails the dice roll, and we have killed the goblin. I expect nothing less from Ethan Goblin Slayer. That is the end of my turn though. The goblin attacks, and the good times roll. It's a fresh turn, it's a fresh attack. Just the 1 again. And the goblin does defend. Of all the things to survive one of my attacks, it's a goblin. Come on Ethan, do better. Okay, I'm going to stand my ground, we will face an attack. And this time the goblin does hit. I will be most vexed if I roll this many dice and don't get at least 1 shield. I get 2, I'm okay. And this time the goblin is going down. 1 hit again. But the goblin's luck has run out. Ethan returns to form. With the goblins dead, we can start a fresh turn with a search for traps, secret doors and treasure. And while we do not find any traps or secret doors, we have found a potion of healing, one that restores 4 lost body points. I really needed that. Better roll for movement, I guess. 7, that's enough to get us to the door. We will open it next turn, of course. 7 again for movement, and we shall see what lies beyond the door. To the north, another wall. To the south, certain doom. There's an orc. Let's deal with him. As I step out into the corridor, the app tells me that I can see past the orc and round the corner, and it has populated a second orc. I guess it's a 2-for-1 special. Swing away, Ethan. Swing away. 2 skulls. Orcs defend with 2. And blocks nothing. Never bring greenskins to the party when Ethan is ready to play. Let's see how the orc retaliates. And it gets a hit, but not a good one. All the armour will help me. And it does just. Come on then, Ethan, do your thing. 2 skulls again. Ethan is on fire. Not literally, that would be bad. 2 defense dice for the orc. And it does roll a black shield, but it's not enough. A single wound gets through, and that's all that is required to kill an orc. Well done, Ethan. Good work. Okay, I think we're going to move down to the T-junction, and then we will search for traps, just to make sure we're not going to fall into anything horrible. There are no traps, but from this position we can see there is another doorway. Well, that looks tempting, doesn't it? Let's roll for movement and see what we can do with a fresh turn. 8. 2 to the door, of course we will open it. What's it going to be today, Huxley Pig? We have 1 door out, and 2 more greenskins come to play. I am going to advance into the room, fortune favours the bold after all, and I am going to target the goblin. It's the weakest enemy there, and I do have the most chance of killing it with a single hit. 1 hit. The goblin fails to defend, it is indeed destroyed. After the wolves and the dread warriors, these orcs and goblins are a refreshing relief. Come on then, orc, do your worst. I mean, I know what I said, but I didn't actually mean it. Looking for 3 shields on 5 dice. Doable, but not that likely. Exactly 3. And look, there's a black shield in there for a bonus. Okay, maybe things are going my way after all. I'm attacking the orc, I'm looking for 2 skulls really, just to make sure that I can put this thing down. Just the 1 though. But it doesn't defend it. So 1 wound gets through, that is enough. Orc was a big hitter, very little defense. Obviously, big swing left itself open for a counterattack. And that was all she wrote. Better do a search for traps, secret doors and treasures, I guess. There were no traps or secret doors, and the app has instructed me to draw a treasure card. Oh good, poison! I have discovered a brown flask filled with liquid. Your throat constricts as you taste it and you realise you've swallowed poison. Roll 1 combat dice. A skull means you lose 1 mind point. You are unharmed on any other roll. Here we go then. Nice. Even when things aren't going my way, they're going my way. Come on then, Ethan. Roll for movement. That'll get us to the door. We will loiter there temporarily, and then we will start a fresh turn. We roll for movement. 3, that's not great. But we will open the door anyway. More greenskins. And I think we can risk advancing 1 space into the room to deal with that goblin. Let's face it, at this point Ethan has fought his way through some pretty serious fights, and he has killed a lot of orcs and goblins at this point. There's no way he's stopping at any doorways to let them come to him. He is in full rage mode. 2 dice to attack. Imagine how this would be going if we had a battle axe. Oh, that goblin isn't even getting a chance to defend. It is absolutely fork time. Let's see how the orc takes the news of its little companion's death. Oh, it's charged in to attack me. I didn't expect that. Through tears of despair and rage, it only manages to inflict 2 hits. 2 shields required. And that's 2. 2 black shields as well. So all is well for another turn. Let's see if we can finish off this orc. 2 skulls. Really good dice rolling at the moment. And no shields for the orc. It goes down. The difference between the core game enemies, particularly the goblins and the orcs, compared to things like the wolves, is astronomical. These newer expansions clearly expect the heroes to be fully tooled up and ready to rumble. Guess we better do some searching. Our search reveals no traps or secret doors, which is a bit annoying because it means we've gone the wrong way. And there is no special treasure here, I have to draw a treasure card. I have triggered a hazard. While I was searching, a hidden arrow shot from the wall and it hit me and I lost a body point. Ouch. This was a waste of time, let's backtrack. I'm starting to think that guard dog right at the very start of the mission was blocking the way I was supposed to go. 5. That gets me to there. I'm just going to keep moving, I'm heading south. 6. 5. I am rolling below average on all of these movement rolls. But of course, as we reach the corner, we can peek around and see what we can see. We have another wall, and we have a door. Okay, I still have movement left, I'm going to take one more step, and then I will search for traps. And the app can tell me that the floor looks weak directly in front of that closed door. Now what am I supposed to do about that? You see, if you know where a trap is, you can try and jump over it, but you have to have an empty space on the other side of the trap to jump to. I can't jump through the door, although that would be quite badass and action hero-like. Furthermore, I don't have a toolkit to try and disarm the trap, so I guess I'm just going to have to stand on it and tank it, which seems a little bit unfair. Ah well, at least there are no monsters. 12. 8 movement points gets me to there. I'm going to stand on the space. What else can I do? And when I plug that movement into the app, it does indeed only give me the choice of triggering the trap or disarming the trap. There is no option to jump. So I guess I just trigger it. Amazing, I've fallen in a pit. That's another body point loss. I am down to 1 body point remaining. Here's the trap token, it goes under my character. Well, that ends my turn. I guess I'm going to use my next turn to climb out of the pit, open the door and see what's going on. 7. Not a bad roll. Let's open this door. And we have found a table. And oh, for the love of... Okay, we found a wolf. I still do not have any decent weapons for dealing with wolves, so I am going to have to cast a spell, I think. I'm going to move 3 spaces into the room so I am adjacent to the wolf, like so. And we're going to use Hypnotic Blaze. When you cast this spell, an illusion of a huge animated flame appears. Every figure in the room or corridor except for the spellcaster must roll 1 red die. A figure that rolls equal to or less than its mind points is unaffected by the illusion. Rolling a number greater than its mind points means the figure is paralysed for 3 turns, unable to move, attack or defend. So that will give me 3 turns to wail on this wolf and try to remove it from the board. Wolves do have a mind point of 1, so it does have a 1 in 6 chance of blocking this spell. But its attempted spell break fails. The wolf is paralysed. That is big. So casting that spell was my action for the turn. So it then goes on to Zargon's turn. Zargon does nothing. It's my turn again. I'm going to attack the wolf. The wolf does not get to defend. 2 skulls. That's 2 of 5 down. And that ends my turn. The wolf is still paralysed. I attack again. Only 1 this time. That takes it down to 2 wounds. It's Zargon's turn again. The wolf is no longer paralysed. It doesn't get to attack this turn, but it now gets to defend as normal. I did not do as much damage on it as I would have liked while it was out of commission. But here we go, 2 dice. 2 skulls. If this wolf fails its defense roll, it is destroyed. If you remember, wolves get 3 defense dice. If it gets even a single black shield, it is still in the fight and it will attack me. But it doesn't, it rolls 3 skulls. That is 2 wounds on the wolf. I have taken down a wolf. This is my first wolf kill in the game. This is huge. I'm super happy about this. We remove the giant wolf from the board, and only now that it is gone do I realise there are no doors in this room. I am pretty sure I've gone completely the wrong way. That would suck. Okay, time to search for traps, secret doors, and treasure. And while the app says there are no traps, there is a secret door. Right there. Maybe, just maybe, this is the right way after all. Let's do a search for treasure. We draw a treasure card. It's a hazard. I have fallen in a shallow hole. I lose 1 body point. Guess what, everybody? I am dead. Having survived 2 wolves, a dread warrior, many greenskins, I die falling over and twisting my ankle. Fortunately, all is not lost. I have in my possession a potion of warmth. I can drink this at any time to restore 1 body point. So that is what I'm going to do. So that brings me back to life on a single body point. Well, I guess I better move up to this secret door and get ready to open it on my next turn. 5 is enough to get into position. So we start a fresh turn. I roll for movement. 7. I guess we better open the door. And the app tells me we have indeed found the attendants. We have also found trouble. 1 weapon rack, 1 treasure chest, and 1 abomination. Okay, I have the movement points. Let's get into the room and see if we can take down this abomination. Just 2 dice to attack. 1 skull. Abominations get 3 defense and 2 body points. And it fails to roll any shield, so that is 1 wound. Not enough to kill it though. And that does mean it's time to tank a hit to the face. It's only a single hit, but I only have 1 body point, so this could be a fatal attack. And I roll 3 shields, easily defending the attack. We go again. Just the 1. And it is defended. The abomination survives another round. I have to tank another attack. The abomination finds its form. That's 2 hits. And I get 2 shields, exactly 2 shields. I am still in this fight. Only just. Ethan is exhausted. Come on, Ethan. Big hit now. Double skulls. Again, just the 1. Just 1 shield will keep the abomination in the fight again. And it rolls 2. This abomination is tough. And again it retaliates with a single hit. And I only just barely scrape through again. 1 shield, just enough. I don't know how much longer Ethan can keep going like this. Come on, Ethan, 1 big hit, 1 double skull, come on. There it is, double skull, at last. The abomination could still block this, but we have a really good chance of finally winning. And the abomination rolls 0 shields. We have defeated the abomination. Only just, with 1 wound remaining. Yikes. And here we go. You have saved the attendants from the clutches of the abomination. They follow your movement for the rest of play, and you do not need to track them. Oh. I'm assuming I can't walk through any walls with my cloak though. I don't think they'd follow me doing that. Okay, before we go, we are going to do a search for traps, secret doors, and treasure. We find no traps or secret doors, but for treasure we find 200 gold coins. That's fantastic. I now have over 500 gold coins. I can really tool up for the next mission if I get out alive. Getting out alive is going to be the fun bit though, isn't it? Because I've got to retrace my steps. I have to jump over that pit trap. Let's roll for movement. 4. So I move to there. I have 1 movement point remaining, which is enough to jump the pit. But first I have to see if I can make it. I have to roll 1 combat dice. If I roll a skull, I fall in. If I roll anything else, I can continue on my way. And I roll a shield. I am absolutely fine and I continue. We have to assume the 2 attendants successfully jump across with us. At this point, we can fast forward a little bit because I'm just going to retrace my steps. I'm not going to any new areas of the dungeon. I am just going back to that corridor where I must finally face my ultimate nemesis, the wolf that nearly ate me right at the very start of the quest. If I can kill that wolf, if I can make it through that final corridor, then we are home free. And so here we are. We have retraced our steps. We are standing next to the closed door. We roll for movement. 7 is good because it gets us all the way along the corridor and through the open doorway. And that is really important because if we opened the doorway and didn't have enough movement to make it all the way down the corridor and through that next doorway, the wolf would advance down the corridor towards us, blocking our way out, and then I would have no choice but to fight it. But as I have rolled enough to clear the corridor, I have a better chance of escaping. Remember, I don't have to kill this wolf, I just have to get out. So I use my full allocation of 7 movement points. That gets me all the way down the corridor and into the room. Now all I need to do is survive, and I think the best way to do that is to cast a spell. I have here double image. I can cast a spell on myself. It causes a lifelike image of the hero to appear. If an attack against the hero is successful, they roll 1 red die. On a 1, 2 or 3, the image is attacked and the hero suffers no damage. The spell is broken as soon as a hero can no longer see a monster. And at the moment I can definitely see that wolf diagonally through the doorway. So that spell is now active, and hopefully it will enable me to survive this wolf's attack. Now the wolf will activate, and because the wolf is a double space enemy, it can attack diagonally through the doorway. So it doesn't even have to move. And it hits 3 times. We roll for double image. On a 1, 2 or 3, everything is fine. And we roll a 1, so we are okay. It's now our turn. We need to roll to move. Unfortunately, as soon as I move away from this space, I will no longer be in line of sight to an enemy, and that will break my double image spell. Hopefully though, I will roll enough movement to get out. That's not enough to get out. Okay, we'll do it. We'll risk it. We are going to run for the doorway. 3 movement. That does mean my spell has been broken, but next turn I am guaranteed to get out. I only need 2 movement points. I just have to survive. Here comes Fluffy. And the app is under the impression that the wolf can attack me from where it is standing, even though there is a wall in the way. This is something that the app developers are going to have to look at, because that wolf should not be able to attack me through the wall. However, of course, we can easily rectify this by moving the wolf first. So we will move the wolf to there, and then we apply the damage, which as you saw is 2 skulls. I'm rolling 5 dice, I need 2 shields. And I roll only 1 shield. That means I lose my final body point. The wolf tears me down. As it begins to feast on me, I open my healing potion and I drink it. That restores me to 4 health points. I am alive, I live to fight another day, but I was really hoping to make it out of the dungeon with that healing potion. Never mind. It is my turn. I need to get out of here. But, you know what I might as well do? I might as well have a little go at this wolf before I leave. There is a chance that I could knock its teeth out. I get 2 attack dice, and I have nothing to lose. And I do roll 2 skulls. This wolf, remember, only has 2 wounds remaining. It rolls 3 defense dice. And it rolls no shield. It takes 2 wounds. And that does mean I have killed the wolf. My nemesis. I have taken it down. But at what cost? I lost my last healing potion. And you know what? As I stand in this room, bloody but unbeaten, I realise that I never searched here for traps, secret doors or treasure. And at this point, I'm not going to. I have only 4 hit points remaining. I am quite badly beaten up. Really, I just think it's for the best if I leave. I actually have 550 gold coins. I can use that to buy something good. Plus, I have the attendants with me now. I really don't want to put them in any more danger. Let's get them home. 2 movement points gets us to the stairwell. It gets us to freedom. Through many trials and tribulations, through many screams of the word fork, Ethan has survived, and he is rewarded accordingly. We have succeeded, and the Queen's attendants thank us for saving their lives. Queen Terelia smiles favourably upon Ethan, rewarding his heroism with 150 gold coins. Job done. I finished the adventure with exactly 700 gold pieces. That is not enough to buy exactly what I want, but it's pretty good. I am of course going to spend 350 gold pieces on a crossbow. It's one of the best things in the game. It gives me an attack of 3 dice, and I can use it at range. This is going to be really useful because I can open doorways and shoot into rooms without having to charge in and risk falling down pit traps. I'm then going to spend 150 gold coins on a shield. Combined with my helmet and my elven armour, this will give me 6 dice in defence, and I really need those dice. And with my final 200 gold, I'm going to buy a potion of battle. This allows me a single reroll of my attack dice if I roll poorly. I really would have liked a toolkit, but toolkits are 250, which was just a little out of my budget. As it is, I have spent every penny I have to my name because I am expecting the next challenge to be even harder than this one. And this one was tough. But that is it from me for now. I hope you have enjoyed this playthrough. If you have liked the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you've really liked the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully, I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.